Necesito estudiar. Necesito concentración. Ajá. ¿Estudiar en el sofá? Sí. Buena idea. No. Estudiar en el sofá no es buena idea. ¿O estudiar en la cama? Sí. Buena idea. No. Estudiar en la cama no es buena idea. Ajá. Estudiar en el escritorio. Sí, buena idea. El escritorio es perfecto para estudiar. Hola, mi gente. Let me tell you a quick story. Last week, I went to study at a cafe, thinking it was going to be a relaxing time and very productive. But I ended up people watching and being distracted by what was going on around me. And of course, I only did half of my work. Does that ever happen to you? I think the right place for me to do my work is somewhere comfortable at home, where I have everything that I need at hand. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's lesson, what your place of study is like. Work with me on this lesson and you'll see how to identify objects in your place of study using I and describe your learning space using adjectives. Are you ready? ¡Vámonos! I always like to begin with a question to get your brain going. So, ¿qué hay en tu lugar de estudio? I'm going to say it one more time. ¿Qué hay en tu lugar de estudio? Lugar means place. And I'm sure you can easily recognize that estudio is related to study or studying because it's a cognate. This question is asking, what is there in your place of study? The key word in this question is I. Try to think of a word in English that is similar to this one. It looks like hey, right? Even though it's spelled H-A-Y, it's pronounced I, not hey. And it doesn't mean the same thing that it does in English, because this one is not a cognate. I means there is or there are, and we use it to express the existence or presence of something. For example, I can ask you, ¿hay una computadora en tu lugar de estudio? Is there a computer in your studying place? But I can also tell you, hay una computadora en tu lugar de estudio. There is a computer in your studying space. Repeat both after me. Let's start with the question. ¿Hay una computadora en tu lugar de estudio? Now let's do the statement. Hay una computadora en tu lugar de estudio. Can you spot the differences between the question and the statement? Yeah, the only difference is the question mark. The rest is exactly the same. As you can see, I doesn't change whether you're asking a question or making a statement. So you will use the same word to say there is, there are, or is there, are there? So, ¿qué hay en tu lugar de estudio? What is there in your place of study? Look around your place of study. There are many things that you could name to answer this question, right? Let me help you with some words in Spanish that you can use to put together your answer. You could answer, hay un escritorio. There is a desk. If you have a table, then you could say, hay una mesa. Now, let's say both sentences together. Hay un escritorio. Hay una mesa. Notice that I remains the same whether the object is masculine or feminine. And it also remains the same for singular or for plural. So if you have several desks in your studying space, you would just say hay un escritorio or hay unos escritorios. Or even a specific amount. Hay dos escritorios. Let's see other things in your place of study and make sure to repeat with me every time. Hay una silla. Hay una silla. Hay una lámpara. Hay una lámpara. This is una impresora. So, how would you say there is a printer? If you said hay una impresora, then you are correct. Say it with me. Hay una impresora. These are unos estantes. So, how would you say there are shelves? If you said hay unos estantes, then you are correct again. Say it with me. Hay unos estantes. Let's do one more. ¿Qué hay en tu lugar de estudio? Hay un reloj, if you have a clock in your studying place. Repeat the question and answer with me one last time. ¿Qué hay en tu lugar de estudio? Hay un reloj. Good job! Now, pause the video here and look at the objects labeled. Una papelera. Unas lámparas. Now, try to make two sentences using I to say that these things are present in your studying space. Now that you are familiar with the objects and the place where you learn and study, look at your entire setup and answer the following question in English for me. What's your studying place like? Is it big, cozy, maybe a little bit dark? Say three things. Those words you're using to answer are adjectives. Remember that we use them to describe people, animals, and things. We used them before to talk about our personalities, and we're about to use them again to describe our learning spaces. So, let me ask you this question again, but this time in Spanish. ¿Cómo es tu lugar de estudio? Can you repeat that after me? ¿Cómo es tu lugar de estudio? Try to remember some adjectives we learned in the past lessons that you could use to answer this question. For example, you could say, mi lugar de estudio es organizado y calmado. Can you quickly tell me what these words mean in English? Yes, organized and calm. Now, say the sentence with me. Mi lugar de estudio es organizado y calmado. Or you could say, mi lugar de estudio es desorganizado y caótico. Say it with me. Mi lugar de estudio es desorganizado y caótico. But, to be honest, I don't think this last sentence applies to you because that's not the vibe that I get from you. Nah, you're not disorganized or chaotic at all. Cool. You can also describe your learning space with words like iluminado, espacioso, cómodo, and tranquilo. Let's say these words together. Iluminado, espacioso, cómodo, tranquilo. Right, spacious, comfortable, and quiet. You can actually combine all of these adjectives I've shown you today in the same answer, like this. ¿Cómo es tu lugar de estudio? Mi lugar de estudio es iluminado, espacioso, también es tranquilo y organizado. Great job today. Let's look back at what we learned today. You learned to identify objects in your space of study and express that with I. We also looked at how to describe your learning spaces and express that with adjectives. Thank you for giving your best in every lesson. Just keep practicing your Spanish, and I promise you, you'll get better every day. Until then, see you next class. Ciao. Nos vemos.